you see your purpose yet? It was there. It was there at the very beginning. It has never left us. We've simply misplaced it. We were created to be in loving union with God and one another. We were created to play with God and one another in the garden. That's where we started, and so that is where we are heading. We as believers in Jesus bind ourselves together, and then with and through the power of the Holy Spirit, we make our every day about bringing the world back to its original creation. We are a people of resurrection, which leads to restoration. And this restoration happens right here, right now, in the middle of the dirt and the dust, the elements of earth in which we are given in that very first story. God's creation act included making us out of mud pies. And God's beautiful act of grace and redemption is bringing us back to where we belong through the beautiful mess that is the cross of Christ. We are mud pies called to miracles, called to a life of grace and generosity. The more and more we say yes to that life, the more and more the garden appears before our very eyes. My hope and prayer is that you would come to realize your divine purpose of being a part of putting this world back together. Now, I am a far cry from perfect, and sometimes that makes me sad, but then I realize that God is not done with me. God is using me right now. God is not done with any of us. I am aware. I'm totally aware how difficult it can be to live out a story that moves the world towards restoration, especially in the face of suffering and tragedy. The news of the bombings at the Boston Marathon are fresh, and the sting of death is still with us. But yet at the same time, what comes across the pages of the internet, the images of our televisions, are countless examples of great love and sacrifice. Men and women who didn't move away from the tragedy, but who went straight into it, carrying victims bloodied and battered towards safety. We are just days removed from this Boston massacre, but yet a closer look reveals countless men and women, mud pies, revealing something else, a Boston garden. Restoration is around the corner. The garden is sprouting. Brothers and sisters, it's time to reclaim the garden. You and me together. May you know the story, God's story, and yours, and may it lead you to a life that is overflowing with an abundant generosity, a life that will infiltrate earth with heaven in a way that leaves each of us together in a garden of grace.